Hi guys. How you doing on this fine Monday? So, funny story. You're gonna love this, really. I drop the kids off at school. I come back. And I'm walking with one of the girls I usually walk with, and we're having a conversation. We're outside of the house, and I realized that my key is bent. And I'm like, oh my god. And I tried getting in the door, but it wouldn't go in the door, so I went across the street to my mom's, and I said, you should have an extra spare key to my house. Well, okay, so I go over and I'm looking, hey, Mom, you should have a spare key to my house. Well, we grab what we think is the spare key, and I come back over, and lo and behold, doesn't work. So, I try to unbend my key, and I get it in the lock, and then it breaks, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is just not happening right now. So, the key's in the lock, it's bent, nothing I can do about it. So, I decide to walk around to the back of the house, and see if I can get in from the back of the house. Well, okay, sorry, I had to take a break. Okay, so, I go to the backyard, and I, had to hop, I had to go through my neighbor's yard, and then climb over, very oddly climb from their railing onto our railing, but, my legs, I have pretty long legs, and it was still a struggle for me, because it's longer than that distance. I was actually afraid I was going to fall at one point in there. Check all of the all the doors and windows that you could get to from our deck. Everything is locked tight. And I'm a stickler about that. I lock stuff up. There's nothing about it. So I'm like, And I called Chris, and he's like, well, I'm at work. And I'm like, I'm locked out of the house. What you want me to do? Hello. This is kind of an emergency situation here. He tracked down my dad, because actually when I was over at my mom's house, my dad wasn't there. So my dad must have just gotten back. And my dad came over. I walked back around front. I unlocked our gate. I walked back around front, met my dad, and we came back. He's like, Chris suggested we push one of your air conditioner units out. And then he saw where the AC units were, and he's like, how are we going to do this? Because the back of our house is actually, we live kind of on a hill type of area. So the front is, I'm going to say shorter. I don't want to call it shorter, but you have more visibleness of the basement area in the back than you do in the front. So, you actually have to climb 2 stories to get to the windows in the back. So, we know the one is out already because the area is very sloped, and based on where air conditioning units are and the dryer vent and the neighbor's AC unit, it's a wet, slippery mess. You have to be really careful in between our house and this neighbor's house, because it's just, I've fallen before. I'm surprised I didn't get more hurt, but I've fallen before. So, we have no ladder at all, and we're like, okay, he's like, I think I can get to this one. And I'm like, okay. I said, the only thing underneath of that is a printer. So, I said, that's where we keep the computer printer, kind of stacked up on some drawers. I said, but it's okay if you have to push it when you're pushing it, and if it breaks, it breaks. I can replace a printer. No big deal. But we have no ladder. So, we happen to have some boards, and he's like, I think I can make a ladder out of this. And so he starts climbing these boards, guys, and they kind of look like little shelvy type of things. Well, the one breaks, and then the next one breaks, and he's at this point, there are like 4 like steps, if you want to call them steps. He's at the top of it, and I'm like, please be careful. Like, I do not need my father to have to go to the hospital because he's fallen off of this makeshift ladder that is sketchy as all, because it's not a ladder, it's just boards, and it wasn't meant to be climbed on. But, he manages to push. It takes some time too, let me say that. I mean, we're out there for a good 10 minutes, and he's like pushing and pushing and pushing this air conditioning in. Because he wasn't trying to just shove it over either. He was trying to make it, because that's our brand new air conditioning unit. So, what is going on the computer? He gets it in and kind of to the side so that he can actually climb through the window. And, I mean, the dogs are going nuts at this point. I will say, thank goodness for my dogs. I mean, they were going nuts. They knew something was off. They're like, someone's coming through the window. This is not good. And my dad, they know my dad, but they're like, this is not okay. And so, finally, Dad actually gets inside, and he's like, I'm just going to come to your back door and let you in the back door. He said, but take all those boards and stuff and move them away and put them back to where you had them. I mean, if anybody really wanted to climb up, I mean, that was like, I'm like, you be out of your mind to want to climb on those. Just watching him nearly like, I mean, it's my dad, and I'm like, you are going to fall, and like, you're going to fall to your freaking death here, and it's going to be on my watch. So Dad comes out and lets me in through the back door, and like, I lock up the backyard, and thank goodness for my dad. But I came, the dogs are going crazy still. They're like, this dude's in our house. This dude's in our house. Came in. My dad did try to pet Venus, and Venus ended up peeing all over the floor because he grabbed her. She was barking at him, so he kind of picked her up, and she ended up peeing everywhere. In any event, I'm gonna tell you this. So he actually sat the air condition where the printer. He moved the printer and sat the air condition on the plastic storage bin where we were keeping it. Well, that plastic storage bin is now broken. I'm gonna have to figure out something to do with it because it's not usable now, and that's okay. And then half the stuff that was in the drawer is just not usable anymore either because, okay, so you're gonna have to forgive the mess because this is just craziness, but this is not usable. I mean, this is broken. I mean, I'm sure we can use it, but like, you see, this is just, so the air conditioner was actually like sitting here and it like was like pushing in. So this is all got like soaking wet. There's a lot of towels in there because I was trying to just like dry it out. That was soaking wet. All of this was in there neatly. Half of this stuff is wet. It's probably just going to go in the trash. I really hope there's no papers in there that I need. And then this is what's going on right now. I had to move this off of this with the risk of it going completely through there. And then the printer's over there. And my entire house is an absolute mess right now. And we still have a front door to fix. Thankfully we do have 2 doors. And I have spare keys. So I could actually lock the deadbolt of the one door. They both have deadbolts, don't get me wrong. Don't be coming to my house and trying to rob us. We have deadbolts on both of the doors. It's just I broke my key on the bottom one. So, but I do have an extra set of keys. So, and this is the ironic part, guys. Okay, so the extra set of keys. Wait a minute. Where are the extra set of keys? Oh, I put them up. This extra set of keys, guess what? there are keys to our back door on this one. I was like, ugh. I've been carrying around just the front door keys, and if I actually had that set, which was my original set, but they got misplaced once, so we got a different set, and then I found those back. I figured out where I had those. If I hadn't lost the originals, I would have had the back door keys. I could have gotten in the back door. And this girl is not happy with me. She's like, Mom, like you're talking. This is the mess that Venus made. I did clean it up a lot. Yeah, I have cleaning to do, and I don't care at this point. I've had such a day. I came in, Venus, I should say, after all was said and done, I went for my run. And when I came back, Venus had ripped open my book bag. My wallet was on the floor, along with some other things. Like, my wallet was completely, like, ripped open. She had the credit cards and the debit card out. The cash was out. I'm like, what are you doing, dog? And, do you want to be featured on the vlog today? Is that what it is? You want to be featured on the vlog today? We love you. We love the little guy. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Oh, gosh. So, say hi. So that's been our morning, guys. Okay, I love you. So I think it's time for lunch. Okay? Can I have lunch? You want lunch? He's like, I'll take food. Oh, you're a good boy. Alright, guys. We'll talk to you later.